Hello, well wishers. I welcome you all to my YouTube channel, Aspiring Minds. To help my channel grow, I request you all to do like, share, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So, without much ado, let's begin with our poem for today, The Night Mail, written by W.H. Auden. W.H. Auden, also known as Winston Hugh Auden, was born on February 21st, 1907 in York, England. Here is a picture for you of how York, England looked like in those days. The poem is divided into 5 stanzas. Here is a look at stanza 1. This is the night mail crossing the border, bringing the check and the postal order. Letters for the rich, letters for the poor, the shop at the corner and the girl next door. Pulling up buttock, a steady climb, the gradients against her, but she's on time. Past cotton grass and moorland boulder, shoveling white steam over her shoulder, snorting noisily as she passes, silent miles of wind-bent grasses. In the first stanza, the word border refers to a geographical boundary between two countries. In this context, it suggests that the train is crossing the border from one country to another, possibly from England to Scotland. You can see this from the movement of the arrow, how it is moving from England towards Scotland. The train is also said to be carrying checks. A check is a written order directing a bank to pay a specified sum of money to the person named on it. It signifies that the mail train is carrying financial documents or payments. The train also carries postal orders, which is a financial instrument issued by the post office that allows the holder to receive a specified sum of money. It implies that the mail train is transporting various financial transactions or orders. Among the various places that the night mail would be crossing on its way to Scotland is Bettock, which is a village in Scotland. Overall, we see in stanza 1 that the night mail is embarking upon its journey, carrying mails, checks, postal orders as it is traversing from England to Scotland. It carries letters which refer to written messages or correspondences that are being transported by the mail train. The fact that the poem mentions that the letters are both for the rich as well as the poor indicates that the train does not discriminate between rich and the poor. The phrase, the shop at the corner, suggests that the mail train is carrying mail addressed to the local business, possibly small shops located in the vicinity. The girl next door represents the idea that the mail train delivers letters to ordinary individuals, including neighbors and people living nearby. Therefore, in this stanza, Auden sets the stage for the train's journey, highlighting the diverse range of mail it carries, including financial documents, letters for different social classes, local businesses, and everyday people. Here are some of the other word meanings which are important to be noted down from stanza 1. We have already learned that the word postal order means money order. Bettock is a village in Scotland. The word gradient means a slope. Moorland is an open area where rough grass grows. Boulder is a large rock. Shoveling means lifting and moving. Snorting means making a loud sound by breathing noisily. We now move ahead to stanza 2. Birds turn their heads as she approaches, stare from the bushes at her blank-faced coaches. Sheepdogs cannot turn her course, they slumber on with paws across. In the farm she passes, no one wakes, but a jug in the bedroom gently shakes. In stanza 2, there is a phrase, blank-faced coaches, which in this case means expressionless or dull. The fact that there are no human faces embarking upon this journey in the night mail, the coach is described as being blank or expressionless. The other picture is about how a dog is in deep sleep, which is the meaning of the word slumber. Stanza 2 depicts the continuation of the train's journey. The poet has used the term blank-faced to show that the coaches are without passengers. The train is making noise, telling everyone about her arrival. The birds are sleeping in their nests. They are awakened by the noise of the train, but they are not afraid of her at all, as they know that she is just doing her daily duty. They just turn their heads to look at her and stare at her empty coaches. Stanza 3. Dawn freshens, the climb is done. Down towards Glasgow she descends. Towards the steam tugs yelping down the glade of cranes. Towards the field of apparatus, the furnaces set on dark plain like gigantic chessmen. All Scotland waits for her. In the dark glens, beside the pale green lochs, men long for news. Here the word Glasgow in stanza 3 means a city in Scotland. Steam tugs are actually boats which are used to row other big boats or ships. Therefore, in stanza 3, we see that time has passed when this stanza begins, and it is now dawn, and the train's climb up the hill is complete. The train is headed towards Glasgow in Scotland, which is a much less natural and peaceful environment than that which was present in the previous section of the poem. The train descends into Scotland and the landscape changes from a pastoral setup to an industrial one. Now there are fields of apparatus and furnaces as compared to the farms and fields. At dawn, the train descends into Glasgow, heading towards the port where steam tugs are unloading. The fields of apparatus refer to factories and other industrial sites. Furnaces refer to places where things are burned up or heated up. These industrial sites look like giant chess pieces on a dark plain. Despite the transition into an industrial world, everything is still quiet. It all appears to be waiting for the night mail. There is the first mention of human element, where the people of Scotland in narrow valleys and beside pale green lakes in remote areas are waiting for the mails because it is going to bring news and gossip for them, which they have been seeking, and it will be mentioned in the next stanza. Stanza 4. In stanza 4, the poet illustrates the kind of letters that the night mail carries along its entire journey. There is a mail of all sorts, like receipts, invitations, applications, lovers' declaration, gossip, circumstantial and financial news. The letters are from various people like family members and from different cities. They are of different styles like long, short, typed, printed, with doodles on the margin and written on papers of different hues or colors of ink like pink, violet, white and blue. They have different tones like being chatty, catty, boring, friendly, clever, cold and stupid. Some are even misspelled. The letters that the people are seeking are those of thanks and those from banks. They are joyful notes and receipts and bills. They carry from applications for situations to timid lovers' declarations. There is gossip from all around the world and news from different sectors. Some of the letters are serious and others are frivolous. They come from all over the world and are written on paper of every hue. Auden beautifully shows the vast array of things sent by post, things that most people have received at one time or another. This poem also tries to show that there is a constant need for human interaction, from the most common mundane daily life routines to meaningful letters, everything that is worth communicating across the border. People are knit together by this correspondence, no matter how trivial the mail might seem. The stanza gives a glimpse of the various facets of human interaction. The last and final stanza of the poem, stanza 5 of the Night Mail, speaks simply but significantly on the dreams of the waiting men and women. They are still asleep in their warm beds and dreaming of everything from having a cup of tea with their friends while listening to a band play in either Cranston's or Crawford's to terrifying monsters. Some people are asleep in Glasgow or in Edinburgh or in Aberdeen, which is actually known as the Granite City. Do you know why? Because it is famous for its locally quarried granite stone, which was used to build many of Aberdeen's most famous buildings, such as London's Houses of Parliament, the Trafalgar Square, etc. The Scottish cities that the train was travelling through are mentioned once more in the final stanza of the poem. The people are sleeping, continuing their dreams while the train continues with its hard work. Soon this will change. All those letters mentioned in the previous stanzas will be received now. Soon they will be awake and eager for the mail, hoping that the news and the letters will reach them, and the hope to hear the postman knocking at the door. The poet says that everyone who hears the postman knock on the door will feel their heart quicken with anticipation. At the end of the poem, Auden asks a rhetorical question. After all, for who can bear to feel himself forgotten? These last lines of the poem are moving. The poet taps into human need to be connected, appreciated, and loved. The poem thus is deeply sympathetic and compassionate for individual human beings, expressing the quickening of heart of the person who might learn he has been remembered after all by someone else as the letters arrive at their doorstep. The poem celebrates human connections. It is hopeful and sweet, charming and memorable, and recognizes the human need for connection and appreciation by saying, "No one ultimately wants to be forgotten but be remembered." Here are some of the word meanings from stanza 4 and 5 for your ready reference. So that brings us to an end of our discussion of the poem The Night Mail by W.H. Auden. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel Aspiring Minds. I shall see you next time. Do comment down below if you have any doubts or any queries or any suggestions related to the video. Thank you.